5, CO, let's go. The clock has started. Roger.
This is an Ash White podcast, so we're going to talk to Scotty Miller today and see how his Christmas went and how life is going.
Hello.
Hey, Scotty Miller, Ash White, how are you?
Hey, Ash man, what's going on? Long time no hear.
Long time no hear. December was busy, wasn't it? What a terrible month. Just trying to finish off work and the old work stuff's pretty disruptive at the best of times, isn't it?
Left, man. I finished up on the Tuesday, so mate, I've had a bit of time off, so I'm starting to finally get in a relaxed mode, mate.
You've got to about day 4, have you? Day 4 or 5, where the kick in of relaxation is starting.
I reckon it was only Boxing Day, dude. To be honest with you, maybe. It's been a long, crappy year, so I reckon it took till about Boxing Day, and then today was pretty good and pretty relaxed. So yeah, finally starting to relax and enjoy it, mate. Feeling like a normal person.
Yeah, it does take the best part of that first week to just calm down, doesn't it? It's crazy. What are you doing? You watching any of the cricket, or what are you up to?
Yeah, I've been in and out, mate, all afternoon watching a bit of the cricket. I finally parked the butt down, cracked a beer, and yeah, having a chat to you, mate. And I've got the old cricket on in the background, mate.
Yeah, the Aussies have just started to pull back a little bit, haven't they? The Packies were going pretty strong there.
Yeah, old Cummings is put on a nice little two wicket haul in the last 2 innings.
He'd be a good leader, Scotty, I reckon.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that, Ash, man. Whether a lot of people are saying that he's not a leader, and then a lot of people are saying that he's a hell of a leader. So it's hard to gauge the whole Pat Cummings experience. But yeah, they were saying that earlier in his career he wasn't getting the field set right and all that sort of stuff. But everything I've seen, he's done excellent. I think he's a great leader, Ash, man.
Seems to stand up these days. Yeah, maybe early on there might have been a few teething issues with personalities and whatever. So
yeah, well, they won the World Cup over there and stuff. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, they won the big one overseas in India, and then they come back. But I tell you what, the old cricketer, say 20 years ago, they'd only play in the summertime, and that was about it. These guys are pretty much full time. They play all year round now, Ashman. The bodies hold up.
Yeah, I think this sport's a lot closer to baseball. That the movements are far less. Like if you look at the NFL, that you watch religiously for those 18 or 19 games a season, as you said, it's all over in a stint, isn't it? Whereas these guys are playing in Australia, New Zealand, India,
all
England,
around the world, man, all around the world.
So if the baseball league over there in the American League is 161 games, or there,
162, 162.
So
and then you got then if you're lucky to make playoffs and all that sort of stuff, that's a hell of a season, man. Especially if you're an everyday player. So if you play shortstop or third or first or whatever, and you play every single day. That's a long time, man. You're basically living in a plane or a bus and in the hotels.
Scotty, the MCG and the Melbourne skyline is now larger than Sydney. It's overtaken Sydney. They've got more towers, I believe, over not only 100 stories, but they've actually they've gone past Sydney. So there's a bit of a push on now for getting Sydney back up and above. But if you look at the camera work out of the chopper or the drone, whatever's taking the footage around the MCG, the Savo, look
Yeah, man.
look at that skyline. You've got South Melbourne there over the Yarra. I think they've got 300-400-story buildings just across the other side now. When Manny and I stayed there for the Billy Joel concert, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, and I was talking to my brothers, or my brother and his lads, because they're building high rise in Adelaide up to 42 stories. We're way off the mark. But
Yeah, that's for sure.
I did say to them, "Have you got anything in the pipeline for me?" And they said, "No, nothing. There won't be anything that tall in the foreseeable future." So that was sad. I said, "You can take your Christmas misery somewhere else," like.
Yeah.
I said, "I'm only asking for one tower. Surely you can give me one tower." But there's another wicket gone too.
There's another wicket. Yeah, old Gaz has just taken another wicket.
He's just gone to a different level.
Yeah, 500 Test wickets, man. That's a hell of that's getting into the Dennis Lillies and Shane Warne territory when you start taking 500 wickets. Like that's pretty impressive.
It's pretty cool.
But yeah, going back to Melbourne, I'd never been to Melbourne until pretty late in my life. Like I'd flown in and played a bit of basketball and stuff, and flown out that night type stuff. But through the baseball club, with our mates, we used to go over and watch one game of footy a year type thing. And I remember first time going over there, everybody says it's the sporting hub of Australia and all that sort of stuff. And as a proud South Aussie, you'd go, get stuffed, it's overrated, But when you go there and basically, you're in the CBD, and this is before the old Adelaide Oval was up and going, you'd basically in your hotel room, get out, you can pretty much walk to the MCG. You can walk from the MCG to pretty much the casino and the centre of Melbourne. Then you've got the tennis centre right next to that. And then you've got, I think it's Marvel Stadium now, the indoor footy stadium right there as well. Everything within a 5-minute tram ride of the centre of Melbourne. It's a very, very impressive city. I wouldn't want to live there, but yeah, it's very nice to visit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the last time we went there as well, which is only this time last year we went.
Yeah.
And I was so impressed with it. Once you get on the double-decker bus from the airport there, Tullamarine, and you head towards the city, you can see the city way out. It's a bit like New York. It's got a very good skyline from 25 k's out. You can see the beast, and I think it's very good. I think it's
the whole restaurant scene there, and like that casino, the facility, all the restaurants, along the casino there, and along the Yarra or whatever it is there in Melbourne.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive. Very impressive.
And good.
So I don't think I want to live there, but yeah, it's definitely worth a visit if you want to get away for a weekend or so and just go to a footy game or cricket game or something like that. And then the restaurant scene and the casinos. The casino's world class now as well.
What did Santa Claus bring you this year? Did you get a gift?
No, I'm too old for that sort of stuff, mate. Santa's forgotten about me. We've got the young lad now. He seems to take all of Santa's gifts, mate. He seems to gobble up all of Santa's gifts.
Have you seen the Telstra ad on the telly where the guy walks out of the pub and there's a reindeer standing with the kangaroos on the other side of the road?
No, I haven't seen that one.
It's a tearjerker. It's absolutely beautiful. They did a good job on it. So he comes out the pub with a pint and he's looking all strange on his face. And he looks across the road and Rudolph is with 2 kangaroos, or a kangaroo and an emu, or something or other. And he's sort of like, you can see him thinking, nah, that's not right. I'm not sure what I'm looking at there. And of course, there's a car coming up the road, and they all scatter and they all sort of move on. And eventually, he's on his own. There might be a dog that comes up to him, and he sniffs the dog, and the dog eventually, calms down and allows him to be there in the moment. And of course, the little girls put out a whole load of carrots and that for obviously the reindeers, and he goes up to goes up to the house and starts eating the carrots, and then there's Father Christmas all blown up in the front yard, and the thing's pushing him over, and he just wouldn't respond, and you can see how sad he is because it's not the real one. So you sort of sit there in your own chair thinking, oh, poor old Rudolph, and the little girl goes, oh, Rudolph, you're here. So they run across to the Telstra phone box across the road, and of course she rings up Santa and says, hey, Rudolph's ready to be picked up, or you've left him behind, and the sky flashes white, and obviously that's Rudolph and his sleigh coming back. But it's a great ad. It's probably the best one I've seen ever, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to look out for it.
Yeah, our ads are quite good. I don't know whether it's on Foxtel or just normal the normal stuff. I don't really know.
It'd be everywhere, I'd say, Ashman.
Might be on Netflix or something like that. I'm not sure, but it's worth a watch. It's quite good.
And how about yourself, mate? Did Santa come and visit?
I did get a Ross Coulthart book in plain sight. The one
I saw you. You sent me a photo. Yep.
So Mandy said, "Look, it's about 220 pages long. It might take you a few months to get through it." So I got up Christmas morning because she'd only got back from work at 8 o'clock or whatever. So she went to bed, and I just sat out the back and read 12 pages and was exhausted. But yeah, no, it's got some good stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff there that sort of backs up what we've been talking about during the year. So.
Yeah, I must admit, like I haven't looked at the book. I've looked at the audio version of the book, but yeah, apparently it's a good book, Ash, man. Apparently it goes into depth of what we've been talking about over the year.
Yeah, I think it backs up too about the lady in WA where the early warning base was set up for the submarines.
Yeah. Yep.
And her and two federal cops got dragged back into the facility and were told, zip it up, you saw nothing. And of course, whether that's 19 years on from when it happened or whatever, they're still exactly the same on it. And there's a good story in there about the Westall School, like we'd brought up earlier too, in either episode 6 or 7, whenever that was, and it reiterates, and there's photographs of it anyway. It's in plain sight, it's a good one, but there's a lot to read. There's about 5 pages of all the referees that have, that he's saying have backed the book and backed what's said, and so it's pretty big deal. So I've been just reading bits and pieces of it, and trying to look through a few of the photos through the middle of the book, and Mandy said I was trying to find one with a few more pictures for you, but you'll have to read a bit. So
there's no colouring in bits to it, mate.
What about your bow hunting? Have you done any more?
No. I've been very, very quiet, Ash, man. It's been just pretty much getting ready for Christmas, and now Christmas done and dusted, and now I can have a bit of a relax. I think I'm going to go do some fishing either tomorrow or Friday. I'll get out there and actually tomorrow that's Thursday, so I've got it Thursday, and then I'm up the shack with Geordie. He's got a few of his mates coming up on the shack on Saturday, and then I'll be back home, dude.
That's
good.
And
be ready for New Year's.
Yeah, I've got a game of golf with Stingeray tomorrow. We're going to go down to Mawson Lakes there. There's a 9-hole that you go around twice with a buggy. So we played out at Sandy Creek on Christmas Eve. We had 2 teams of 4, so we played against my older brother Matt and his mate Shannon, and their lads and 2 lads from the other side. So we were lucky enough to win that one. It was a good day. It did go very well. Sorry about that. Did you hear the ding?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Make yourself a cup of tea.
No. Must have been a message come through. There was Canada on the line before, but that was a little while ago. He might have just responded to that one, but no, all good. But,
it's good, mate. That's good.
But So you're going up the river.
What time you kick? Yeah, I'll just go up there I'll go up tomorrow, and then on Friday, and then on Sunday morning. Just help Geordie's got a bunch of his mates coming up, so I'll go give a hand with the boat, the driving of the boat, and all that sort of stuff, and make sure they don't kill each other.
How's the weather been in the last month? It's just been absurd, would be the word, I reckon.
I've never seen anything like it. As man, as I say, we're too old fools these days. But rain we had coming in, and mid-December we had that a week, pretty much. I think we got here 60 to 70 mil here at Greenwood. And then Christmas Day we're up at Mount Barker, and she didn't stop raining all day up there. I can't remember a December up like it. I really can't.
It's certainly the cloud base is sort of dragged from the Northern Territory down the east coast, wrapped around almost north of Tassie, and then ripped up towards Adelaide and above, and just caused that big vortex that just repeats itself at the moment. I assume it's to do with El Nino. I assume that's what's going on. We've already had a fairly decent cyclone come into Cairns and all that. So I'm assuming the temperature of the water's causing something. I know.
It's just ridiculous. And then you look at Perth, like we got family in Perth, and over Christmas there were 35 to 37 degrees over Christmas. And we're sitting here at 18 degrees. Well, no, was it 14 degrees and freezing? You know what's off?
Yeah, it was so. It was absolutely cold Christmas Day, wasn't it?
Oh, it was ridiculous. So we had to go up to Mount Barker. So we left home about 10:30, I think, and we got into the car and it was 12 degrees and it just started drizzling down with rain here, mate. It's just like, you've got to be kidding me.
It was.
We're in South Australia, mate.
Yeah, I think it was 14 degrees or something at Ridgehaven. So I can imagine what Mount Barker's like.
Oh yeah, when we got there, it was raining, and when we left at 8 o'clock at night, it was still raining. There was just not a heavy rain, but just that misty rain. But yeah, it was ridiculous, Ash, man.
My brother-in-law has just bought a house up in Mannum, Scotty.
So, whereabouts?
This side of the river, the Adelaide side of the river, and just before you get to the turn off to go down the main street, you turn right. So it's sort of back in that elevated
just before
part.
before you come down the hill to where the soldier is on the right hand side there.
Yes, sir. So it's back there, and he's apparently got a river view as well. So that's pretty good.
Oh, nice.
So
lovely place, mate. Great. Got two really good hotels there. They're finally bouncing back after the floods and stuff. Everything's starting to come back to normal in Old Mannum. There's still a lot of construction going on in Mannum, but after the floods. But it's a beautiful place.
I think too that it's an hour to the east of Adelaide. That's really our closest one, isn't it? So I think it works for us, like living in the Tetra Gully area, that it's straight up chain of ponds, and
man,
you're pretty well there. Get on the ferry, shoot across the ferry if you need to, as you do. And I think
we're as I say, it's from our place. It's an hour into Mannum, and then depending on the ferry, depending on how busy it is to cross the ferry, and then it's 15 minutes down to the shack down there at Young Husband, and it's a beautiful place. They're down there today. I think they're putting in the boat as we speak. I'm expecting a message to tell me it went all right, because usually I'm down there helping, but hopefully everything goes well.
I'm sure it will. We've got, as I said before, we've got a game of golf tomorrow at Mawson Lakes. I've never played there before, so but they have a buggy.
I drive past it, and you see them with the buggies and all that sort of stuff, and it's pretty open down there. There's not many trees, so you shouldn't lose too many balls tomorrow, Ashman.
No, hopefully I'll keep them away from the cars driving down Main North Road. Is it close to the road there, or?
Nah, not. You'd have to do something pretty horrifically wrong, I reckon. When you drive past, I can see one green. Well, there's one green up by where the football club is there, on the left-hand side of the edge of Mawson Lakes there.
Yep.
But I think I'd say 90% of the course is aimed away from the main road.
Well, that might be in
It's
my
not like
favour.
yeah, it's not like when you go past other courses where they've got the big nets up where balls are going out to. I'm pretty sure if there was any balls headed out to Main North Road there, I'm pretty sure they'd have nets up and all that sort of stuff. But I've never seen any nets up.
Yeah, good. Oh, that's excellent. We still play against Phil from the baseball club there, and we have that White Stingray Classic once a year, and it looks like we've got that one close to being booked in January. So
Oh, nice.
that's a good day. That's a good fun one. They're him and his brother Rob. They're very good golf players. They're
Yeah, old Phil's got a bit of a competitive streak through him, mate. He takes he'd take it pretty serious, I would imagine, mate.
He's incredible. They to see and Stingray's the same. He plays a lot of golf as well. But if you see the level that these guys are at, I just sit there and think, what am I doing here? But it's the whole aim of it is that everybody
Have a bit of
gets
fun, mate.
yeah, and everybody gets 9 drives from a team. So it does handicap, because it's only you and your partner. So, but it's a good format. I've played tennis all my life, working for myself, and whenever I get that chance to play the team sport with somebody else, it's so much better, so much more fun with other people. And,
Yes, that's one thing I've never really done. I've never really played a individual sport. I've always played team sports. I've never played basketball, American football, baseball, all that sort of stuff, soccer and stuff. I've never ventured down the old individual sports. I think it would be
lonely.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I'd like it. Yeah, I don't know whether I'd like it. Like I'm always like the team environment and the team stuff, but as you'll know, sometimes your teammates can drive you friggin' nuts as well. So wouldn't mind sometimes being on your own out there, mate.
Yeah, I'll back you. No, that's good. That's good. So what about we're nearly close to the end of the year? 2024. It's an even year. I like even years, and
Yeah, it's just gone so fast, Ash, man. Like from doing the Two Drunk Aliens podcast from the beginning of the year, and now bang, you blink your eye, and it's just goes so far. I don't know whether it's because we're getting older, but God, she's gone fast this year.
I think we're working too long as well. That's probably not in our favour, but the amount of spare time is fairly reduced. That's the killer. But
yeah, that's right.
I think this year, I think we just put it down to consolidation. We've had a fair bit on our plate. We've still managed to put out 7 episodes with the Two Drunk Aliens, and
yeah, it was a big learning. It was a big learning curve too. It was a big learning going from an interview format to go into where we're creating all the content on our own.
Yep.
It was a challenge, Ash, man. It was a challenge, which I really enjoyed, and I'm really looking forward to continue on in the new year. But yeah, it's just gone so fast. I mean, you think about it. When we first started doing the White Magic podcast, we did 10 episodes of that. That was back in 2019. I think we started that, Ash, man.
Yeah, that's like you look back now, and that sort of flowed. That flowed very well. Like I think the format back then, even on the phones, was certainly easier than how we did it last time. But the beauty was that we had a producer, and without a producer and a team, as we said before, it just stalls the flow of trying to get them out there. But the beauty of this roadcaster thing that we're doing all the audio on now is that we can bank them up, and once we can get a young producer that can help us bang out 5 or 6 in a row, there'll be a polluted amount of podcasts coming out. But be that as it may, the beauty is you can keep storing it. You can still talk in the moment in regards to what's happening in the world at this time, and store it. That's the beauty of it, and and it's there for life. That's the beauty of it. You can call it up whenever you want and get onto whatever platform is available to you, and but it's good fun. Good fun. I'm looking forward to next year. We got another bit of travel coming on Next March, we're going to go to New Zealand for a couple of weeks. That was
Oh, nice.
something that was still booked in when Mum was alive, so we've got to use the air tickets. So we thought we'll go and do that in March. So we've got a couple of weeks there, and then we'll shoot off again at the end of August for 5 weeks and go and do Italy and go on a boat cruise there from Rome down and then get into the UK and hopefully get up to Scotland where one half of my family was sort of there in Glasgow. So hopefully we might.
Yeah, see, my family's from Falkirk, so not far from Glasgow. So when I was, how old was I? Just 17, maybe just turned 18. I did Scotland with my cousin and stuff, and yeah, back then it was a dark and dreary place actually.
I think the international airport's the same. I think that
a lot of big red-headed blokes with beards and they were pretty angry mob back in those days, Ash, man. Hopefully it's gotten a bit better. But yeah, I went there and it was just towards the end of the winter, so it was still pretty cold over there. But yeah, I just found Scotland. Maybe I just went at the wrong time or something. But yeah, I found like Glasgow. I found a real. It was like, to me, it was just a real dark and a bit of a dreary place. Like not a lot of employment over there at the time. There was a lot of unemployment. Yeah, it was a weird experience. I was there for 6 days, and yeah, it was a bit of a dreary place. I don't think it stopped raining the whole time I was there.
Yes,
but
you're fairly high up there.
I would like to go back. Same with Wales. When I went into Wales, like I couldn't pronounce any of the names of the towns we went to because they all had 15 letters, and I think there was about 16 of them. It was just ridiculous, Ashman.
Yeah,
it was absolutely ridiculous.
I think they own the longest town word, don't they? Like something good.
Oh, it's ridiculous. We stayed at one place. I remember it was me, my mum, and her cousins and stuff. We went in and we stayed in this beautiful. We would call it a caravan park, but it wasn't caravan. It was all cabins and all that sort of stuff. And we were there for 5 days, and on the last day, it cleared up and all the rest of it. And it was one of the biggest mountains I've ever seen in my life. Just to the side of this road classified as a caravan park. It wouldn't have been a caravan park. And yet for 4 days, we were walking through the township. We were doing all this sort of stuff. No clue that there was a friggin' huge mountain right next to us because the cloud cover was so low. And I just went, are you kidding? Like, where did that come from? And you just wouldn't know, dude. The weather over there is so different. We reckon we've had it here a bit like dark and gloomy, but oh my God, over there, Ash, man.
Yeah, I'm sure it brings you down, if it's bright and sunny and warm. I think this year at 55, being in Vancouver for that month, to have that extra month of cold.
I don't know just don't know how you deal with the cold, Ash, man. I've only done with it for 6 months of my life when I was over in England and Europe. And I don't care how hot it is. You can come in, you can grab a cold beer, you can get in the air conditioner for a little while, you can go outside, you can get in your car, you can do what you've got to do. Go to the shops to get out of the heat and all that sort of stuff. But when it's like -10 and there's friggin' 5 foot of snow on your front driveway, like life just sucks, Ash, man.
I think so. I think it's
when you got to get up. Yeah, I remember going in my cousin's place in Reading in England, and there was my uncle and his son that we become really good friends with, and he was 2 years older than me. He was doing Sparky's apprenticeship, and I stayed with them for a couple of months. And I remember first getting there, and they said, "Oh, it's going to snow pretty heavy tonight," and I'd never seen snow. So I said, "Could you please wake me up?" And they said, "Yeah, of course, we'll wake you up when we go to work." And for England, they had a pretty nice sized backyard and all that sort of stuff. And I thought, oh, beautiful. So I woke up that morning, they came, and it was like a winter wonderland, Ash, man. Like the trees had snow on it. It was a nice cover of snow on the ground. I've still got the photo from the old cameras, like where you had to actually take them to the shop and get them developed. That's how old I am. I still do this. Yeah, I still have that shot to that photo to this day. It was beautiful.
Mm.
I was out there for hours, and they just look at this stupid ass Australian bloke trying to make a snowman, run around in the snow, throwing snowballs. And they looked at me as I was having a cup of coffee, ready to go to work, like I was just an idiot. So 2 days later, my uncle's woken me up and turned and said, "You like the snow that much?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Go shovel the driveway." And there was a foot of snow in the driveway. And I said, "What do you mean shovel the driveway?" And he said, "Can you go shovel the driveway so we can get the car out?" And I went, "Oh, okay." Went out there, and you've got a wide shovel, and you've got to dig it out so they can get the car out the driveway, Ashman. Black snow on the side of the road and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't become fun for long, I'm telling you.
I think you look at the majority of the world, and you could probably include the South Island of New Zealand here, and maybe the mid parts of Tasmania as well. Adelaide only gets a bit cooler. Like, I said to Mandy the other day,
we don't have cold here, Ashman. When we complain about cold, we don't us Aussies don't understand cold. Maybe Victoria, up where it snows in Victoria and stuff like that, they might deal with it for a month, 6 weeks of the year, maybe 7 weeks of the year.
Yeah, look, if they're elevated, if they're in the mountains there, I'm sure there's probably 12 to 14 weeks there that they're snowed in or around that time. But if you look Adelaide, we go from 44 degrees to probably on a cold day, we're around 12 degrees at worst, and generally you'll get hail or whatever around 12. But we don't get the change or the fall that they do in the northern hemisphere. Like
no.
If you look at Europe and you look at North America, like it's chalk and cheese. We don't get anything like that.
But then you go even more extremes when you go to like Alaska and like Russia and places like that where it gets to minus 48 degrees. And then like you've been to the States like Boston and New York, like that grows hard people. You know what I mean? That grows some, I reckon, some pretty hardy people when you've got to deal with.
Hang on, dude. Hang on. You there, Whitey?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of a podcast. That's all right. Keep going.
Who is it that we normally get the business license from? Like, who sends it?
The one in that Adelaide City, I forget.
Yeah, I think APRA, but that's bloody nursing.
Yeah, and it's not ASIC. It's not one of those ones. It's
ASIC, I think. I think it's ASIC.
Is that what? That's the company name and business name.
Yeah, that's who you pay the business license to.
Oh,
Builder's
okay.
license.
Yeah, it'll be ASIC. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just searching to try and find the email. So.
All right, too easy.
ASIC, find it. Okay.
All right, thanks, dude.
See ya.
See you, bud. Sorry about that, everyone. I had a business call. See if I can pick Scotty back up. This will be interesting, but all I can do is apologise to him. Scotty, how are you, mate?
Mate, we jumped out.
Oh, no, I had the wife ring about the builder's license needed renewing, and the 2 lines came through, and I hit the wrong one with my IT technology. So I do apologise. But where were we, mate?
We were just talking about the cold.
Yes,
and I was
right.
I don't know how much came through, but I was just saying, like, you go to the extremes of like Russia and the Antarctic and Alaska and all that sort of stuff, where it's getting into the minus 30s, minus 40s. I just think that would build the most hardiest, hardcore people in the world.
I think
where you've got to deal with that every day. Like, I think if you've got to dig out, like your driveway, you've got to put a blanket over your engine of your car so all your car doesn't freeze, and you deal with that every day. It's just like, that's a hardy people, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think here in old Australia, like weather-wise, I mean, we do get like the bushfires and we do get the extreme heat, but I think that's just so much easier to deal with than that side of it. And I only dealt with it for 6 months, and I tell a story all the time. I got a job at a pub, and I was so excited. So I think it was either my second or my third shift. And it was called the Prince of Wales Hotel, and we was a 8-minute walk at the tops, not 10 minutes. And it was up a little nice hill, and you got to think of England, it's all cobblestone. It was just a beautiful walk. And I remember I said to my uncle, I said, I'm just going to walk up. And he goes, how are you going to walk up there, mate? I said, no, my mum bought me a jacket. I had a big old jacket. I was so excited to get up there. And he goes, go on there, mate. So I remember it was a slight hill, and I'm walking up there, and I get halfway up this little hill, and it wasn't a steep hill or anything. And I'm like, I started slipping because the path had frozen over. And then all of a sudden, I'm sliding back down the road. Actually, I couldn't walk to the pub. I had to come back and get my uncle to drive me there.
The old.
I'll take that to my grave. Like, you can't walk somewhere because I had the work shoes on. I didn't have sneakers or anything like that on. Sliding back down the hill, and I'm looking at people in there having their dinner, and I'm sliding back down the hill with my hands and my feet on the frigging path. It's like, this is a different world over here, mate.
The old black ice. I think it's truly amazing. I think that we don't really get enough separation here. I think Victoria and New South Wales get that little bit. I know that Darwin and the top end sort of get their wet and dry seasons.
Yeah, the wet and dry, yeah, definitely.
So, I sort of put thunderstorms and all the lightning and all that sort of gear to change the seasons up. But dear old Adelaide, we don't get a lot of difference here. And I think at times, I think that's why we need to tick off and see other parts of the world just to change it up, because it does become mundane just working Monday to Saturday every week in Adelaide. You don't even have to look at the UBD anymore, mate. Even the thing on the phone, I barely even type in there now. I know roughly where it is, but like the navigator or whatever it's called. But anyway, that's where we are for now, and whether Caitlin lives over in the UK, and maybe we spend 3 months in the UK a year in the summertime, and when the baby...
Yeah, don't go over in the winter. Don't go over there in the winter, dude.
No fucking interest going over there in winter. So
it's harsh. In New York and all those sort of places at Christmas time with the white Christmases and all that sort of stuff, and it looks friggin' beautiful. But then, yeah, you talk about the black ice and the black snow, and then, it's just buggered that, Ash, man. I could not be bothered with any of that.
And I think if you're living in zero for quite a while, it's cold, and it's, the beauty in New York, their heaters and that, and the same with Europe. They got everything double glazed, triple glazed. They got good gas heaters that just run all through that season. Whereas we're just here on gas when it's cold, and we just blow the room up with hot air, just a dry hot air to take that chill out. But that's not.
Well, apparently all the like supermarkets and shopping things all got these like the fancy doors now that apparently, keep all the cold out and make sure everything's maintains the heat within the buildings and stuff. They're designed to do that. I think. Was it not long ago I heard a report that I think it was the English summer. They had a real hot English summer this year. And apparently most of the homes in England don't have air conditioners. Because they don't need that. Like, they don't need that. They've got heat, as you say, they've got all the right heaters and all that sort of stuff. But apparently a lot of people are getting into trouble because a lot of the houses don't have a standard air conditioner.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, well... Who knows what's going on there?
It's just ridiculous, mate. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, we're going to go into Paris this year coming too, Scotty. We'll Can't have a
Yeah,
look at
Paris is nice, man.
have a look at Paris and Barcelona. We're gonna go down there. We're gonna exit.
I can see you sitting in a cafe with a nice latte, mate, and a little bit of a croissant, just sitting there, mate. I can picture it in my head. Maybe one little beret on.
Looking forward
I
to
can
that.
see that, Ash, man.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
At least the heat of the sun doesn't appear to be in the northern hemisphere like we got here.
It's not like you, dude.
No. We if there's a scale of 1 to 10, we must be at 10, and I think they're around 4 to 5. So, but I think it still is fairly hot there in the summer months. But
Like apparently, like Italy, like Lisa's cousins had an Italian background, and I think they were there last year, maybe the year before, and Italy just looks absolutely amazing, Ashman.
yeah, we've got a 10.
Like
10
the ocean, and the seafood and all that sort of stuff in Italy. It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think the food is very good there. I think the tomatoes are red and ripe, and no, it'll be good to see it. I've got to push myself to because I hate the heat anyway. So Mandy said you got to get 25 kegs off before you go. So it might
25 kegs.
might be a lean year. Might be a lean year in 2024,
Jeez.
but yeah, we'll get this New Zealand thing out the way because there's a fair bit of walking in that one as well. So we'll have to go hard.
Yeah,
Go hard.
I've got an uncle in New Zealand, and I've always said I want to get over there, and he's always said, you've got a place to stay if you want to come.
Yeah.
But I think New Zealand would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, look, I think there's a lot to do on the South Island. My older brothers, they stay at Wanaka, I think it is. They don't stay in Queenstown, but to see the mountains and the sounds and everything down there, it just looks very similar to Canada, just in a smaller basket. But I believe it's top shelf, and to see Canada was just amazing, and I can imagine that it would be the same thing on a smaller scale. But
so green and so lush over in New Zealand, and the people are amazing over there, and all that sort of stuff. It'd be just one of those places to go. I think it'd be like the food would be amazing.
I can't wait.
You can
doing a bit of
make some
driving there.
Make some friends with some sheep. I'm sure there's a fair few sheep over there, Ashman. It'd be great. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Like Auckland and all that sort of stuff would be absolutely amazing.
Looks very
and
good.
2 weeks. That's a good break over there.
Yeah, 2 weeks in March too. So it'll be the first 2 weeks in March. So we've only got really 8 or 9 weeks for the first 2024. So I'll take the bike down to West Beach, and but we're going to this place. It's a place where you view the stars, and it's the darkest spot on the South Island that you get to see the total
like an auditorium type stuff.
Yeah. The total Milky
nice.
Way. So there's very little light pollution there at all. So we're booked in there between 10:30 and 12:30 p.m. a.m. You know what I mean, overnight. And
nice.
they dress you up in suits and all sorts because it's fairly cold up there, even in the off season. And we'll go up there and have a look at that one. So apparently you can see some amazing stuff. You get the use of all the telescopes, and so that's pretty cool. We're going to do a tandem, not a bungee jump, but a bungee swing.
Fuck that, Ashman. You go stick that right up your ass.
I don't want to do it either, but she said, she said, you're coming. I said, well, it's going to add to your inertia, whatever is strapped to you. So I said,
if you don't drop those 25 kegs, Ashman, you might not be able to go, dude.
Oh, who cares? Hopefully they'll put a rope around their neck. It'll be that quick. You know what I mean? So,
look at that. No, I'm not into any of that shit.
But I thought, I'll do it with you. I'll get that out of the way now. But I'm not bungee jumping. I might as well,
No,
I might as well jump out of a plane if you're going to do that.
no, bugger. I'd rather jump out of a plane. I reckon I'd trust a parachute than a friggin' elastic band that's strapped to my damn feet.
Well, I don't think it's really inviting to feel your eyeballs come out of your orbits when you get to the bottom of the rope. It's not my thing. Fuck
No.
that. But anyway,
Well,
anyway, there's a jet boat thing down there as well we're doing, and
I'd like to go on the jet boat. Jet boats would be, I reckon that'd be pretty cool.
so and it looks like I like Queenstown. I like, not that I've been there, but in regards to, I like the snow and I like the resorts and all that sort of gear anyway. So that to me is very attractive. I hope it's as good as what it looks, and I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's better than that anyway. But
That'd be amazing, actually.
even there in March, there'll be no snow in regards to skiing and all that sort of gear. But I know Petey went down there and did the Sounds, which is on the west coast there of the facing Australia there, and he said it's unbelievable. So if you compare it to Canada, as I said, in a smaller package, and I don't say that in a bad way at all, it'll be amazing. Land of the long white cloud. It'll be a good trip.
Oh,
I've been there.
fantastic, actually.
Been there 3 or 4 times to the airport and on the North Island, Auckland, but I've never done the road trip, so that'll be good. That'll be good fun with Mandy to do that one and
Yeah, but
see a bit more of the world, and that'll tune us up for Italy. So, no, I think that 2024 is coming with a rush, and we're going to go over to Edithburgh on the 29th to the 2nd over Yorks.
Oh, okay, yep.
So we'll go over and see Billy and Sue there, and that'll be a good run. I believe the forecast is windy, and they have a wind farm over there, obviously, for that reason. And but we got a few pubs there booked in already to go and have a meal there at lunchtime and fuck around over there. I know Big JC Wright's over at one of the wool sheds, Wool Bay it might be. He's over there, over there around the same time. So I caught him up before Christmas. It was good to see him and his woman there, and no, it was pretty good. But certainly a race up to Christmas. You just don't get that transition, do you? The transitions now where you just get a couple of hours on your own where you can just sort of turn everything off, and there's no have to do's and all that sort of gear. I am looking forward to 2024. I think I love the positive views. I'm positive with them, and hopefully we can go.
I just hope we get some. I hope we get some alien shit going, Ashman. Like I hope the aliens are coming. Like I end up paying my carton out during the November, my bet with my mate. So I end up having to pay a carton.
Oh, you didn't get anything for the aliens?
Nah, didn't get nothing. So I ended up paying it out. So I said, fuck yeah, there you go. So we're going to have a new bet in the new year. So I'm a bit discouraged with all the talk at the moment. Like apparently Bob Lazar came out, I think it's coming out weaponized this week. And he was talking about element 21?
Element 115.
That's the one. And how he's saying that all these Tic Tacs and all that sort of stuff is using that, and he thinks that now that it might be not aliens as much, it could be actually the US government with all the drones and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting year, mate. I really do. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it.
I think that if you listen to all the players in there that we spoke about during the year as well, that they all thought that they would never, ever get to this point of their lives, that they'd even get recognition that the UAP even stands. And,
the big conspiracy theory at the moment, Ashman, is that it's the reason we've got this far is because the US government doesn't want anybody sniffing around what they're doing. So they're starting to leak it out as it's aliens and it's this and it's that, and everybody now is starting to think, well, maybe it's just the US, the US government. Have you seen the new stealth bomber?
Yeah.
Back out the other day and flew over one of the gridiron games, the American football games.
Yes.
If that's not a UFO, I've never seen one. That thing went over that stadium, mate, without a sound, Ashman.
I think you go all the way back to Roseville, what was it, Roseville? Where the crashed UFO was back.
Way back in the day, yep.
What was it called? Rose.
Name, but it's right on the tip of my tongue. Roswell.
That's the one.
Roswell, yep.
So I'm still of the belief also that they...
I believe the technology definitely comes from
somewhere else.
I still believe, I'm still a strong believer in the crash sources and all that sort of stuff. 100%, Ash, man. I believe everything about that. But I believe the US government is leaking some things and getting the Congress thing going and all that sort of stuff. So China and Russia and all these guys and South Korea and all that sort of stuff are not looking at what they have, because Russia definitely doesn't have anything, Ashman. They can't even defeat the Ukraine at the moment.
I think
China, who knows? But I think the US, man, I think they're designing some stuff that's next level, mate. I really do.
I think there's still these exotic minerals or elements that is a big player, and I think the stealth capacity, what they've got at the moment, is all based on that, and where that's come from.
Well,
I'm not sure where anybody knows where it's come from.
There's a rumor out there at the moment. The stealth craft you saw fly over has pilots, but there apparently is a stealth bomber. That, because you remember when we always talked about, if you see it, it's already 15, 20 years old.
25.
The technology you see is, and I reckon there's a stealth bomber out there at the moment, pretty much just a drone.
I think most of them soon won't have pilots in them. I think that'll be the new world, is that I think the whole weaponry side of it is changing anyway. Like, if you look at the Iraq war, the Ukraine war now, is that they're really just shooting long missiles, and they're staying well away from it. They're just, it sort of almost defeats the purpose. You're going to smash the hell out of towns, and everybody's going to be the same. Like, everyone's going to send these long distance things and crush it. For what reason? Nobody's going to get any more land. Nobody's going to get anywhere anyway.
No. That's exactly right.
As Elon Musk says, it's a waste of young men's lives. It's ridiculous. Russian men don't hate Russian Ukraine boys. They're only boys. It's the adults in Ukraine and the adults in Russia that hate each other.
But it's the politics, isn't it? Like, it's the politics.
Don't pawn the young boys. That's ridiculous. That's terrible, and we won't go too hard on it. But
no. I'm just saying. I was trying to explain it to Geordie the other night. It's like South Australia fighting New South Wales.
Pretty well.
It's just ridiculous. It's just a sad.
It's a civil
indictment on the world that we're still, as we always joke around, shit throwing monkeys.
Shit flickers, yeah. We're still there, aren't we?
And we're still fucking doing it to this day. We're going into 2024, and the monkeys are still grabbing piles of shit and throwing it at each other. You know what I mean? It's just how have we not worked out by now, Ash, man, that it's not going to solve anything. It's just not. Like, as you say, you're not going to grab any land grab and all that sort of stuff, and we're not going to go into the politics of it and all that sort of stuff. But it's just like, at this day, what is that going on in 2024? It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And it's like, as you said, it's like a civil war. You know, it's like us taking on New South Wales.
Ridiculous.
It's just, yeah, and we're sitting here in Australia, which is probably, you'd have to say right now, one of the greatest countries in the world to live.
Yeah.
Quality of life and all that sort of stuff. Like even America, free is just in turmoil at the moment with politics and all that sort of stuff. And we sit here in South Australia, and the biggest thing is our biggest problem is it rained on Christmas Day.
Scotty, I remember just a couple of weeks ago, you had the opportunity to catch your American footy buddies up. How did that go? I didn't get a chance to get there.
Good day, mate. It was a great day.
Was it good to catch all the boys up?
Yeah, it was fantastic, Ash, man. It was always good to catch up with the old boys. You get too many beers in you, too many stupid stories that get, every year you hear them, they get bigger and better.
Did it go for a few hours?
We watched the Div 2 game and we left, I think, say midway through the Div 1 game. So it was good 4-hour catch up.
Yeah, righto. Where'd you end up at the Golden Grove? Or?
No. We just stayed at the baseball ground, dude. No, we didn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
we stayed at the baseball ground, watched the game, and we didn't really watch much of the game, but yeah, just talked a whole lot of crap, Ashman.
Well, that's exactly how you look at the past and talk about all the glory days.
Oh, it's fantastic, Ashman. As I say, the stories get bigger and better every year you hear them, mate. It's the same story, but they get bigger and better. Bigger and better.
Oh, that's excellent. So you got a day on your own now?
Yeah. I'm just gonna. I think I've got some beautiful SA King prawns ready to go for tea.
All right.
And I might have a couple of beers, and I reckon that's my day done, Ashman. Tomatoes, the full tomato plants are watered. And, nice quiet afternoon.
Did you put a couple of tomatoes aside for Whitey?
Yeah. I got them in late, so I didn't get them in till, I think, towards the middle of November. But, yeah, some of them are starting to fruit now, Ashman. So, hopefully in the 2002-4, we don't have to worry about going to the shops or any tomatoes, mate.
Yeah, righto. That's good, isn't it? I picked some up yesterday from the IGA. I grabbed a couple of greeny ready ones just so that they can ripen a little bit more. But there's nothing better than multigrain bread with some olive butter on there and just slice some of those fresh tomatoes and pepper on there.
Can't beat them. It's the great Aussie. That's the great Aussie breakfast, mate. Bit of sourdough.
The breakfast of champions, isn't it?
Sourdough, Ash. Toast a bit of sourdough up, a bit of butter, a bit of Vegemite, and a freshly cut tomato, dude. And you can't beat it, mate. Yeah,
I think the Vegemite's a catalyst too. He certainly offers a fair bit to the ping.
Oh, but, I'm sorry, dude. If you don't like a bit of Vegemite on toast, dude, you're not Australian, dude. As far as I'm concerned, you're not Australian.
Yeah, Caitlin's friend Andy, when he come over here in this month, he actually likes Vegemite, and he's from I think they're from Cornwall originally. So
they have Marmite over there, which is not the same, but it's kind of similar, I suppose.
Yeah, I've never tried that. I believe it's different. But that hasn't.
Oh, definitely different, but it's down the same. It's down the same line. Most of our English friends have come over the years, enjoy it, and then every American that I've had come over, it's like you've fed them poison, Ash, man.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, they're probably.
Oh, every American you watch an American try Vegemite, dude, and it's like they've stuck their tongue in between one of the old batteries, mate, and they don't like it at all, actually.
Yeah, they're a funny group. So, no, that's good. Oh well, New Year's Eve, you'll be up the river. I'll be over Edithburgh. The other one I just wanted to touch base on, which was a really good outcome, was the brown UFO incident over there near your place. He's got a evening with the girls tomorrow night on the 28th of December. So he's actually talking to the lady that saw the UFO.
Oh,
And
who's talking to them?
the John Brown that I work with.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's actually got an evening with them, not
Oh.
specifically for the UFO thing. It just happens that they all line up at the same time. So tomorrow night, if you get a phone call from me, it's probably based on the fact that they've either seen something that they can talk about, or they're still not willing to say too much. But
look forward to hear that.
I'm excited as it's renewed it again, and I'm really looking forward to what they've seen. You know, if we can get some sort of feedback on that, that's awesome.
Especially local, right? If it's local, you know, within minutes of here, that's something I'd definitely like to hear about.
It's within seconds of Edinburgh, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's that close, and there's a reason why the UFO was there. So I can't wait if that comes back as a positive. That'll close this year out with the two drunk aliens, and that gives us a lot of ammo to crack off probably somewhere around February with episode 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we can get that started again. So
look forward to it, matey. Look forward to it.
Scotty, Happy New Year. Thanks
you too and your family.
Thanks for your effort this year in 2024, 23, and we'll get bigger and better next year, and we'll certainly get a lot more podcasts out there, and hopefully we can get a producer not too far away that can help us get all this backlog of stuff out. So take care. Have a good New Year's, and you'll probably hear from me tomorrow night with hopefully some good news about.
Yeah, look forward to that, dude. Look forward to that.
About the Brown incident. So good to talk to you, man. Thanks, bloke.
Have a good one.
Catch you soon.
See you soon, mate.
See ya. How good's that, talking to Scotty Miller? Well, that winds up 2024 with the podcast with me and him, and we'll catch you bright and early or mid-January in the 2024 with the new podcast coming out. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you in the new year.